So we start off the episode of season 4 with a flashback to little Keith, little Chris, and their dad hunting in the woods. And they're not just hunting animals. They found an alien. So they blast that thing Halo style. Drops like a gray suitcase looking thing. What is it? Yeah, it's the pocket dimension from Chris's closet. So pocket dimensions are like switches. Argus is rushing to Chris's place to go get into the closet pocket dimension. And as they're going there, Economist is with them. And he sends a 911 text to Chris being like, yo, get out now. Run. So Chris and Eagly get out of there at the same time Argus gets there. And as Chris gets out, he runs into Judo Master Bulbasaur. That's a great name. That is a great name. Thank you, Economist, for the fantastic comedy you bring to this show. The other fantastic comedy he brings to this show comes beforehand. I was laughing for a solid 15 seconds when I heard what Economist said to Michael Rooker's character. I had to legit pause the show, rewind, and hear it again, and then have the scene resume. I couldn't stop laughing. I'm not going to spoil it for you in case you haven't seen it. But if you know, you know.
They ask you how you are, you just have to say that you're fine when you're not really fine.
So after Cena wins the fight, he sends a 911 text to Ad. Be like, hey, come pick me up right now. We need to go to this location right now. And as they're going there, he's confiding into her. Super sweet, heart-to-heart moment. And we go back to the same cabin that we saw in the beginning of the episode. Chris is trying to set up the pocket dimension in there, so it's away from his closet. And Economist is stalling Argus. He's trying to just hold off as long as he can. Finally just gives in, enters the code right at the same time. Perfectly set up where the closet goes back to a regular closet. So we see Rick Flag Sr. has the idea of, hey, let's use hardcore to our advantage, and she could get a job back, and we can get PeaceMaker out of this. Man, this guy's a major gaslighter. So Chris and Ad have a heart-to-heart talk where he tells her he just doesn't feel like he belongs in that universe. And just, you know what, let's see. One more time, let's see if this works. Shoots hardcore a text, and man, is it perfectly timed, because it's right when Rick Flag makes his little offer. We end the episode with Yondu doing a ritual around a fire and becoming connected to his third eye that's made of blood. Connecting with the universe and everything around it, and his spirituality, really embracing it, and connecting to an eagle. And he connects to Eagly with this, and then figures out where Eagly and Chris are through that. This is the one part of the episode I didn't like, where I was like, this didn't feel like it fit. It just didn't feel established. Whereas like, yeah, the guy's a Native American character, and he joked about a third eye previously in the episode, but this kind of just felt out of nowhere. We need a way for Argus to get to the targets, to get to Chris, to get to Eagly.
Meanwhile,
Guys, I got it. And you'll never believe where I got the inspiration from. This was definitely the shortest episode of the season so far, which, not a bad thing. It was a very, very good episode. Very character driven, very funny, quick action scene. That was pretty cool to see. Had some suspenseful drama. And what, one complaint about the episode? Which, not bad at all. PeaceMaker Season 2 has a total of 8 episodes. Halfway through, been nothing but impressed by this show. Absolutely been loving Season 2. Been nothing but greatness, and let's see how 5 and onwards goes. So we start off episode 5 with a flashback to Rick Flag Jr.'s funeral. And this is where we see where Harcourt and Rick Flag Sr. are kind of developing like a relationship, seeing the human side rather than the co-worker side. And then we get the greatest intro in all of television. God, I love that intro. So unskippable. And we pick up where the last episode left off, with Chris going to meet Harcourt, and him not realizing
it's a trap!
Yeah, Argus is setting this all up, and she tried texting him, she tried warning him, giving him a little code word, being like, hey, don't come, dude, like, this is not good, this is not gonna be good for you. So he asks her, being like, hey, the night on that boat, when we... Did it mean anything to you? She aggravatedly tells him, no! And leaves disappointed, just goes to walk away. Argus attacks. And as they attack, he's defending himself off. And as they have him surrounded, gets the call to kill. And actually Harcourt comes in there, tackles him, knocks him down, chokes him out. And she, like, kind of saves him. So, in a weird way, it helped. So they bring PeaceMaker back to their headquarters. And it's actually a really funny moment in here where a PeaceMaker is passing by Economist. And they both kind of see each other. And it's like, hey, what's up, bro? What's up, man? As they're in the interrogation room, Rick Flag tells his co-workers, being like, yo, get out. Turn off all surveillance. Turn off everything in the room. This is a me and him thing. Beats the shit out of him. Chris refusing to fight back, apologizing the whole time, feeling terrible for what happened to his son, and understanding the frustration that this guy feels. Trying to figure out a solution for their friend, Harcourt and Economist. Like, alright, what do we do here? And I guess Argus took him in without a file on hand. Economist does the right thing and, does his job. He just makes a new file for him. That's what you're supposed to do, right? Economist, you put him on record. You're a real G. John helps out John. They get out of there. Aides and Ad, they come and pick him up. They take him back to his cabin. And we have some great comedy in between on the car ride back. I swear to God, Vigilante, my God. That guy reminds me of Michael Scott so much. And we had a B-plot in between of Captain Cultural Appropriation. I can't even say that name without laughing. Trying to hunt down Eagly. And, man, I could not care less for this part. Don't like this character. Love Eagly. Eagly is a gem. Keep Eagly safe on all ends. St. Wiles trying to hunt Eagly. Eagly gathers a whole flock of birds, and they just attack this guy, just go in on him. Oh my God, they killed a guy. A bunch of eagles killed a dude. I didn't even know that was possible. Goodbye to St. Wild. Didn't like ya. Michael Rooker, I love you. Yondu, rest in peace. But good riddance. Bulbasaur is told to follow 11th Street Kids and go hunt down PeaceMaker again. By the way, he's wearing the suit the whole time. Never takes off the mask, never takes off the suit. It's really funny to see. And Chris decides, I'm done with this dimension. I'm going over to the other one. It's much better over there. Writes his goodbye letter for each person in his group. Sets up the portal. Goes through. It closes. But right before it closes, Judo Master followed him through there. Ads and Adrian go over back to the cabin because Chris messaged them beforehand saying that he's leaving. They just missed him. They gather up the rest of the gang, read his goodbye letter, and a pretty emotional scene. It kind of tugged at my heartstrings a little bit, to be honest. And of all people, Harcourt grabs that case and says, we're going to go set this up, and we're going to go find Chris and bring him back here. A preview of the other world, where it looks like Chris is much happier there. He's got a family of superheroes. His dad, his brother, himself, and Eagly, who is accepted into the family, are all superheroes and all just fighting crime together. He gets together with the other Amelia in that dimension, and it seems like things are actually going a lot better for him over there. Maybe that is the universe he's meant to be in. And now, we gotta wait for next week for another episode. Oh my God. I love this series. I love that I have something to look forward to each week, but every time they leave me on a cliffhanger. I know that's the purpose, but my God, I want more. I felt the same way I did with the one last week, where it was a great episode, and one complaint in it, and it was the same complaint for the same person. I did not like that St. Wild guy. I'm glad he died, honestly. What do you think of these episodes? Let me know in the comments below. And always remember, stay safe, stay sexy.